later in our show. But elsewhere in the Western Conference, Houston.
Yes.
Finally. Finally.
Delayed, not denied.
I mean, the
Very
delay
delayed.
still happened, but they did avoid the sweep, right? They did avoid the sweep. So the Lakers, they trailed by 6 with 30 seconds remaining in Game 3, right? Until
this was traumatic.
they got their defensive stops, and it led to shot tying this one, sending it to overtime. The Lakers went on to win this one in overtime, right? So here's Ime Udoka when they're trailing down 0-3.
Horrendous mistakes. I don't know if you want to say youth or, scared of the moment or whatever say case. Grow up and you're not that young anymore. You've been to the playoffs once, and we watched every situation just now.
Let's keep it real. Let's keep it honest in the age. He wasn't lying. They looked scared and afraid of the moment, but good thing that there was another opportunity.
Well, they certainly answered the call here. Later in the second, Houston leading 46-40. Amen Thompson drills a little midi. Rockets up 48-40.
Need more of those. Need many more of those.
Early in the third, Rockets up.
Ooh, talk about passes.
Reed Shepard, you predicted he would have a big game.
Yeah, I'm a little weak. I'm about a week late.
Yeah, a little late, but delayed, not denied, right?
Correct.
Shanae?
That pass right there denied, and then they're running the break. This is the best version of offense for Houston, getting stops and converting with a shorter court.
Şengün would go on to hit the free throw and the flex. The Rockets up 76-55 afterward. Next Rockets possession here. So watch DeAndre Ayton. Gets fouled hard on Şengün. Ayton's forearm making some contact with the side of Şengün's head. Flagrant 2 contact, actually, and he would be ejected. Although a lot of folks said
that's all.
They didn't think that it should be the case. The call?
Did you see that catch, though?
Flagrant 2, I don't even care if it's by definition.
Well,
That's
Kevin
crazy.
Durant is enjoying this win. Houston
Let us
gets
have
it
this win, man.
115-96. Let's take a listen to LeBron James.
Obviously, we know coming into the series, we have to protect the ball versus them, not have too many pick sixes, which we did all night. And I mean, it started with me, obviously. Defense wasn't our problem tonight. It was our offense. Defense wasn't our problem. We turned the ball, 23 times for 30 points? Another turnover right there. So, yeah.
24.
Yeah, 24.
24 turnovers, and by the way, in 3 of the games in the series, they've had at least 20. So it's been an issue for them. The Rockets were just able to capitalize, in part because they're the aggressor. And look, it really started with that defensive pressure. Houston had 17 steals in this game, and look where they started that pressure, right? 47 feet away from the basket. That's their second highest for any game this season, according to Genius IQ. Also, all 5 starters, they scored 15-plus first. It's the first time that's happened since 1997 for anyone who's keeping score there.
Wow.
But when you're looking at adjustments for Houston, what did they do here, Janae, that allowed this outcome?
They finally played with some pride because you don't want to get swept, especially knowing that Kevin Durant was not available. You heard me? That's defense. Defense, they finally found their defense. That's what they've needed. And I do believe that when you think about them scoring in transition, they were 11 for 13 in transition. They forced, as you mentioned, 24 turnovers. When they play with a shorter court, that's their best version of offense, meaning when they get steals, when they get stops. Iman Thompson said after the game, they dove on the floor for loose balls. That's their edge, and that's what helps galvanize everything else moving forward. I also think that an important thing to note is that Kevin Durant not being on the floor, they understood that they had to play team basketball on both ends. Kevin Durant has been kind of like a free safety for them defensively. He can clean some things up. But offensively, this is a team that now didn't hesitate. They were sort of getting caught and lost in the sauce with KD getting doubled and not knowing what to do. With him out of the equation, it felt like they understood they had to rely on each other and full team basketball.
Well, they've been pressing higher all series, but what helps when you're pressing is if you're making shots. It becomes much more making the shots that were last night.
But I think that's the growing confidence that she's touching on, where you're saying because he's not there, now there's not as much pressure to be efficient. There's not as much squeezing the trigger. It's everybody swinging it around. Everything's free flow. You kind of know how your teammates play. You want to dish it off to your homie now. The direct barometer of that for me was looking at Reed Shepard and saying, man, the first couple of games, everybody was thinking you scared. It looked clear out there, like you don't want the ball. They're leaving you right now. The only available thing for Reed Shepard to do in a lot of these games has been put your head down, go all the way to the basket and finish, or shoot that 3 and make it. But anytime he shot it, it was short. It looked like indecisiveness. Any turnover came, indecisiveness. And as soon as he saw the aggression coming out of him, I'm like, okay, now the Lakers have a little problem because
4 threes
you know
for
what I'm
Reed
saying?
Shepard.
Once you got everybody rolling with some confidence, now you got a problem because before you had them on the ropes feeling like there's no hope without
But
KD.
you're both talking about the time without Kevin Durant, right?
Yeah.
Is that time going to, we're looking at game 5.
Yeah,
Will that
looking
continue?
forward in this series,
Right.
Kevin Durant is dealing with a bone bruise. It's not just a sprained ankle. A sprained ankle is ligament injury. A bone bruise, obviously, is a bone injury. It's inconsistent. The swelling has gotten out. He's been going treatment, like 10 hours a day. He got the swelling out, but the bone bruise is unpredictable. So it is 2 days between now. They get Monday and Tuesday off. He's not been ruled out for the series, but obviously this bone bruise. The other thing I'll say is Austin Reeves has been questionable the last 2 games.
Do you think
He is
that's
obviously.
gamesmanship, or do you think that's...
Well, I do think the Lakers didn't put their all 100% into yesterday. I think they will put their all to try to get it on Wednesday to not have to go back to Houston.
Game 5, it's Wednesday on ESPN. Coming up here on NBA Today, though, Victor Wembanyama.
Exciting. All of LA, I'm in LA, all of LA was ready to explode into the streets to celebrate a round 1 victory. They got run out of Houston by the Rockets. It got a little closer in garbage time, but they played an overtime game on Friday, and Austin Reeves was questionable on Friday with the abdominal injury.
Oblique. Yeah.
And he was questionable again Sunday, and when they ruled him out, I thought, that's interesting.
But why risk it? Give him a little extra time. The series is over.
Well, they have 2 days off now until game 5. Now, the interesting thing here is Kevin Durant. So,
dude, listen, I thought that his passion sitting on the bench, cheering his team on, really spurred them to that victory.
Well, he wasn't. So he was listed as questionable going into game 3 with an ankle sprain. And I saw him listed as questionable, and I thought it was still the bruised patella. To be honest with you, I didn't know it was an ankle sprain. I thought he was just questionable with the patella that caused him to miss game 1. And then they ruled him out with an ankle sprain, and I was like, I don't remember an ankle sprain.
Now, he did roll the ankle, in his defense, like the clip, he rolled the ankle, though.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And so then he was ruled out like shortly before game 3, and he wasn't on the bench.
Getting treatment the whole game.
And that's what Ime Udoka explained. He was getting treatment the whole game. So then Sunday, he's out again for game 4, and Shams reports he's got a bone bruise in his ankle and says that it's significant that if it was a regular season, he would miss weeks. Now, maybe there's been a post-game interview with an update and all that stuff that while we were doing this podcast, I don't know, but it didn't sound to me like it was somebody who thought he was going to play in game 5.
Ime Udoka did not rule him out for the series post-game. I saw, tweets basically just saying that Ime Udoka is leaving open the possibility of KD playing in the series.
Okay. Well, the Lakers didn't have a lot of juice in this game. LeBron only had 10 points.
LeBron had maybe the worst playoff game of his life.
No,
but
that's not true.
Well, okay.
No, sir.
Maybe the worst playoff game since
maybe the
since
first, maybe
2011
one of the worst
finals.
Yeah. The guy who was playing his best basketball, who was playing the best for the Lakers, sort of summed up the night was DeAndre Ayton, who was ejected from the game for a flagrant 2 foul on Alperen Şengün's skull.
Yeah. But how many times have you seen it's 3-0, a team's at home, and man, they come out, they don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to be swept to end the season on their home court, and they come out and they get a big win, and then it's, that's
the Lakers play like a team that has to go
Yes.
home anyway.
They have a phrase for this.
It's a gentleman's sweep.
But, I don't know. I mean, I will say that I know that it's days ago now, but can I just stop for 1 second and acknowledge that on Friday night, no matter what you want to say about not having Durant, not having Fred VanVleet, like not having Steven Adams, like obviously the Rockets are hampered. Can I just take 1 second to say that the Rockets had the ball up 6 points with 30 seconds left? They had the ball.
The Rockets had the ball, with 33 seconds left and a 6-point lead. A virtually impossible situation to lose from. Because if you just hold the ball for 24 seconds, it goes down to 9 seconds. So obviously you're going to foul. But anyway.
You got to get it across half court, which is a problem.
Well, listen, it's extraordinarily difficult to lose the game from that point. Not only did the Rockets ultimately lose the game, the lead was gone by 13 seconds on the clock. They had the ball up 6 with 33 seconds, I think even with 31 seconds. And the lead was gone 18 seconds later. And on top of that, LeBron James had a shot in the air that was about 2 inches away from winning the game in regulation. That is not
I thought for
possible.
sure that was going in.
I did too. That is not possible. It is not possible to lose that game in regulation.
Can I also say, 33 seconds with the ball up 6. Could you, me, Jackson, and Mark, our 2 producers here with us, could we be in that situation? And I think we could hold the lead for longer than 17 seconds.
If we just held the ball in the backcourt for 8 seconds twice, we might win the game.
I've seen Bontemps and Jackson hoop. Wendy, you're going to have to help us out here.
I could I probably couldn't set it. I could set a screen on Reed Shepherd.
All you got to do in that spot is not throw the ball away in the backcourt twice. It's like the one, that's it.
Here's the stat. Teams were 1 and 1,786 in the last 30 postseasons when trailing by 6+ points in the final 30 seconds of regulation.
I reject that stat. With all due respect, I reject that stat.
Okay, my point is it's really freaking hard to do.
Agree.
The only time that do you know the other game it happened in? Because I was at the
2018 or 19 conference finals Rockets.
No, I was at the game. It was during the Knicks-Sixers series 2 years ago. I believe it was the game. It was one of the 2 comebacks at the Garden, either the one the Knicks came back on the Sixers or when the Sixers came back on the Knicks, I believe in games 2 and 5. But one of those games, I don't remember which one, was a 6-point comeback.
Was that one of the Maxey?
It was either the Maxey one or the Dante DiVincenzo one. I think it was the Dante DiVincenzo one. But either way, it was in that series where there were 2 of those games in a week span. But an insane amount of things have to happen to lose a game in that situation, and an insane amount of things happened.
Man.
Speaking of the Knicks, real quick before we go,